Tapped in, tuned in, turned all the way on. This ain't just a vibe, it's a freak scene bomb. Ms.Blue in the building, auric flow, cracking codes of the cosmos. Now you already know. Yeah. Ride the wave, feel the light, it's frequency love tonight. Ms.Blue gon' take you higher, burning truth with sacred fire. This is soul talk, rebirth from the womb. Say it with me, I can alter my course at any time. Tap in, turn on. Your higher self already logged in. If you really want it, you gotta be it. As Ms.Blue has shared with the world, it's all about frequency. If you feel it, show it. If you want it, grow it. If you believe it, know it. It's all about frequency. If you dream it, live it. Live it. If you receive it, give it. Nothing's missing, I'm it. It's all about frequency. In the past I thought I lost it, but the truth was always near. Every scar became a teacher, every fall just brought me here. Now I'm rising with the healing, every light inside of me, not becoming what I'm chasing. I am the frequency. You feel it, show it. Show it. If you want it, grow it. Grow it. If you believe it, know it. All about frequency. Ask the question, how is this possible? The answer subtle, synchronicities audible. Keys unlocking, belief expanding. Frame by frame, new life commanding. No chase, no match, I embody the key. The light I own unlocks destiny. Raise my vibration, reality shifts. Every dream I desire already exists. Nothing's coming to me, no, no. Already here. When I raise my vibration, the vision is clear. Vision is clear. If you want it, grow it. If you believe it, know it. Believe it. It's all about frequency. If you dream it, live it. Give it. If you receive it, give it. Nothing's
goodness. Wow. Welcome to everyone on in. Ah, oh my goodness. It feels like forever since we have had a chance to sit here. So I want to welcome you all in. Just welcome everybody for coming on in and welcome you no matter where you're tuning in from around the world. You all let me know if you can hear me okay, nice and clear. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I got a lot going on over here, but we're going to make it work. How are you all feeling? How are you all doing? How are you all feeling on this? For most of the world, it is Friday the 13th. Yeah, what a perfect day, right? That powerful number of 13, the number of the divine feminine. Did you all know that number 13 is connected with feminine energy, right? Which is right now on the planet, we can feel that energy in a very, very big way. So happy Friday the 13th. And this is the month also where we honor the feminine energy, which I've been doing since the month of March, right? So, to all of my sisters out there, all of the mothers, our grandmothers, and our ancestors, and all of those, we honor them as well during this particular time. And so, I want to welcome you all in. Also, let me know if this is your very first time tuning in. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle. And I want to welcome you all in. Welcome you in and welcome everyone who is in chat, everyone in the blue room, everyone that's a part of the visionary collectives. That's what we kind of call ourselves here as our soul family. I want to welcome you all in. And we're going to get ready to get started. So let's get those likes up. I have so much I need to tell you guys. So much has happened since we last have come together. But as we get ready to dive deeper into the share tonight, I want to ring the bell. And I'm ringing that bell for everyone who is here to hear. And I'm also ringing that bell as well for everyone who is a part of the Dream Maker's Dreams to Reality, and everyone who's a part of the Galactic E-Files or have been a part of the Galactic E-Files, Self-Invested, the Futuristic Activation Group, as well as the Divine Priestesshood. And so, as well as all of the visionaries in the building, right? So, want to give a shout out. And also, we have some first timers in the building. And I want to say, welcome on in. That is Jeannie Outer Shell. Welcome on in, first time here, as well as Michael Smith. Welcome on in. And so, I want to give a big shout out to everyone if this is your first time tuning in. And so, also, shouts out to the seen and the unseen, because we got some unseens in the building tonight, but we want to welcome you in and thank you for your presence and your beautiful energy as well. And shouts out to the soul family in the building as well. Here we go. Also want to do that chime right there. And for everybody celebrating a born day, we are in Pisces season. Wow. We are in Pisces season. So happy born day to all of the Pisces in the building, right? To all of the sun signs who were born under this beautiful, powerful, very spiritual energy of Pisces. So happy born day to all the Pisces. For everybody who's a part of the futuristic activation, definitely make sure that you listen to the month of March if you have not. April will be coming out. I'm going to be giving you an insight so that you can see what is really, really going on. Yeah. Yeah, welcome on in. Can I say this? You guys, I have missed you. I have truly missed you, but we're going to talk about that, where I've been, what's been going on, because it's a lot going on as well. And Erica, you celebrated a birthday on March the 10th. Well, happy born day to you, beautiful. And everybody else who is celebrating their born day during this Pisces season. And so I initially was going to come on earlier in the week, but there were some things which I knew during the last show. It was a lot of moving around, a lot of things that I needed to get done. And I wasn't going to be able to accomplish everything during that time. And so, yeah, so here we are on this perfectly appointed day. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from around the world. I want to welcome you on in. And here's what we're going to be exploring. And I know you all can feel this. The spell is breaking. And we're going to talk about exactly what that spell is that many of you have been working towards, many of you have been feeling, but the spell is breaking. And so the other thing that's going on, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is direct. And we'll talk about what that means for in a little more esoteric kind of tone. And the awakening is happening now. Now, we know that we've been getting waves of awakenings that's been coming in. And truth be told, we've been in these blankets or these waves of consciousness coming in. For years, I've talked about us riding the cosmic wave. And so right now, we're all riding the cosmic wave. Because guess what? It's a strong wave of consciousness that's happening on the planet at this time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 So, in short, I want to tell you this. Something yet again on this planet has shifted. And it shifted in the last couple of days. I want you, if you're here, no matter if you're listening live or afterwards, if you felt something shift, and I'm talking about within yourself. I know we have the acknowledgement. So many of you, thank you so much for reaching out. One of my predictions about the earthquake that happened in Chile just today, a couple of hours ago, and we will see more of that. And also about, yikes, we won't get into this part, not today. But from my prediction show, if you haven't listened from 2026 that I did earlier this year, I talked about things in the water and ships in the water and about there will be sort of these battles and things that are happening in the water, and smoke coming from ships and also planes as well, but more military planes going down than maybe civilian than as opposed to last year. And we're seeing some of those things. But I want you to know that there are some other things that are going to go on. We're not going to talk about that part of it tonight. We have some more, I would say, sacred business, more intimate business that we're going to talk about. But you guys have been feeling the shift. I know you have. I know, because so many of you have emailed me. I have spoke to you in the sessions, and I know that a lot of people can feel it, but they can't explain it, not fully, maybe not fully. One of the things I can tell you, and you all let me know how this resonates with you, like your awareness is so much sharper. Like your awareness is sharp. It's kind of like you're not pausing so much going, You're not doing that. It's like your awareness is sharper. Your emotions are louder. Like literally, even if you are feeling something inside, that is, it's sort of something that sort of over consumes you that you can't ignore. You can't just push it off and say that I'm going to ignore that. Like your emotions are louder. And certain things just don't feel the same anymore. You know how something just hit for you? It could have been maybe your favorite movie or television show or a book you were reading or, even a song that you were listening to, or maybe it was a part of your workout regimen or even food that you were eating. You sit down at the table and you're about to eat something that might have been one of your favorite dishes and it's no longer feels the same. It's just not the same, you know? Um, it could even be with your clothing, because our clothes are so tied to our identity, you know? And so maybe you put on that outfit that, that's your go to. That's your go to fit when you want to, get suited up and you put it on and you like, just doesn't feel the same. Well, none of this, absolutely none of this. None of this is, and I know you all know this, none of it is random. None of it is happen, chance, none of it. It has a lot to do with what's happening in the cosmic skies. Jupiter has gone direct. But I want to talk about Jupiter for a minute because often we look at these planets like they're something very separate from us, but that is a celestial collective consciousness that is living inside of there. I personally feel that all of the planets is a essence of our ancestors. And remember, we too are the ancestors, and there is a whole collective consciousness that is inside of Jupiter. And so, this cosmic communication that we are making with these planets, it is something that is not outside of us, right? It's almost like your fingers. You know that your fingers are a part of who you are. It's an extension of who you are. You don't feel your fingers necessarily in the inside of you. You can feel them on the outside of you. It's a part of who you are, but it's not the essence of your spirit, but your spirit moves through it. And so remember, when we're speaking about planets, or at least when I'm speaking about planets, what I'm talking about is our connection that we have with this cosmic collective consciousness that all of us have a piece of. There is literally like this crystal here. Look at this gorgeous, beautiful crystal. You guys see this? This was given to me by a soul family member probably more than 13 years ago. And his father actually dug it out of the ground in Tanzania. Inside of here is a collective consciousness. But inside of you is a collective consciousness through your cells, through your DNA, right? This is what's called when we say you're having a DNA explosion or your ancient DNA is waking up or we're becoming more crystalline beings. It doesn't mean that we're going to be this crystal. It means that our consciousness is going to be more finite, like subatomical particles, like the stars and the planets. And that's what's waking up. So you have Jupiter inside of you. There's a part of you that is connected to Jupiter. And whenever something happens on Jupiter, something is happening inside of you. And as much as the planets are impacting us in our lives, we are impacting the planet as well. So there could be something that you wake up to in your consciousness, and it will trigger something in the collective consciousness within the planets. So I want you to hold that thought and just kind of sit with it, flirt with it just a little bit and see how that feels. Because the thing that is waking up inside of you, that you have woken up inside of you. You're feeling it. And because of our collective consciousness together, Jupiter is now moving direct. And so, according to astrology, whenever Jupiter wakes up, it can be felt inside of the collective consciousness within the planet because of what I just shared with you. And this causes a ripple, a wave effect for those who may be unaware of who they are, their own power, and their own identity as far as connected with Source. It causes a spark, and they begin to wake up to a different level of understanding. So, thank you guys for you all letting me know that you all have been feeling this. And for the last couple of days, we're living in a time, for those of us souls who are still here on the planet at this time, we came back for all of this. We came back for HD, baby, high drama. We said when we reincarnate this time, we want to be on the planet and it's always an awakening. We want to constantly be in the flow. We want to be in the shift. We want to be in the rise. We want to cause the movement of what is happening. And so we're going to dive a little deeper into this. And we're going to talk about what this really means as it relates through your aura, through your nervous system, your inner knowing, and the deeper fields of consciousness that we are all living inside of. Because we are all living inside of a deeper sense of consciousness. Well, welcome on in. I feel like I want to play some more music. How do y'all feel about that? Y'all let me know. Do y'all want to play some more music, or we just ready to get into it? We're just ready to get into it. Don't worry. I have some steps for you tonight. So you do want to grab you a pen and a piece of paper, something to write with, so you can jot this down. And I want to share something with you. I know I'm getting a lot of questions about this pen, but there are individuals here who know about this pen. They vowed this life. They know what this means. This is something that it's not my original symbol, but it is one that I originally drew and made into a pen. And many of you have this pen because I've sent it out in many of the packages and many of the things that I've sent out. So Fire Star Goddess says yes to the music. So we want to hear some music. Okay, we're going to play some music. So what we want to hear? Let me see what I got. Let me see what I got on the playlist. I know how y'all feel about dream makers, and y'all know I can't contain myself when dream makers come on. I just want to, I wish I could really play what I want to play, but I don't have a lot of white sheets these days. Back in the day, a lot of artists would give me a white sheet to give me permission to play their music during the live stream. I don't really have that. But, if I had some white sheets, hint, hint, we could really get it in, but I don't. So we're not going to be able to play that. But let's see. Brittany Vine said, I already know when the pen comes out, it's going to get, what? It's going to get good. Is that it? Listen, this pen, quiet as it's kept, is already with me. It's always with me. I always have the pen with me. I don't always put it publicly, but I always have this pen on me. Always do. Always. So you're spot on, Brittany Vibes. You're spot on with that. And always. So let's hear this. We're gonna hear a song that we can play because I do got a white sheet on it. And we're gonna listen to this. Let's hit that like button. And then we're gonna dive into the share here. And I just want to welcome you all in, and so glad to have you all here Really, really, it feels good. And I'm very, very grateful. So here we go.
He asked what could he do for me. I told him that my love is free. But can you match me? I can do it all for myself. Want you but really don't need help. So can you match me? I like luxury, I like fancy things. Shine on my body, live like royalty, treat you like a king. If I trust, but you must be worthy of the crown. I'm not just anybody, born to live in luxury. La 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 lux. La 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 la. I'm serving rich Auntie Chloe B. I know my job is a blessing, but if you pay me. Rocks on my wrist, fur on my feet, setting the table in all the chic. Baby, come eat. I like luxury, I like fancy things. Shine on my body, live like royalty, treat you like a king. If I trust, but you must be worthy of the crown. I'm not just anybody, born to live in luxury. I work too hard on my luxury. We come so far, luxury. Cover these scars and diamonds, luxury. Every day I'm alive, it's giving lux, yeah. La 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 lux. I work too hard on my. We come so far, cover these scars and diamonds. Every day I'm alive, it's giving lux, yeah. La 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 lux, la 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 lux.
Oh, yeah. And you want to know what that is by King Sis. And that's called, it's one of the ones I played a lot, last year, maybe even in 2024 as well, too. It's by King Sis, S-I-S, an amazing singer. I'm not sure if she's an independent artist, but I think she is. And I've played quite a few of her tunes. And yes, I'll make a playlist. You guys want me to make a playlist? I'll definitely be making that playlist to bring in. So, yeah. I'm glad you guys love the vibe. I want to say welcome to everyone coming on in. Oh, Sheila in the building. Christine is here. Good to see you. Ella Obai is here. Welcome on in. Ghetto Physics in the building, along with the rest of the Soul family. Priestess Nadra came in the building. I also seen Priestess Erica in the building. Just a couple of nights ago, I had a visitation, and all of the priestess were there. Yeah, so we kind of know. If you know what happens when those kind of visions start to come up with the priestess in mind, the divine priestess anyway. So yeah, so I wanted us to kind of get some more vibes in there. Thank you all for just really allowing me to do that. I think it's just a wonderful vibe. And so, again, I want to greet you all with higher insight. And of course, it's me, Miss Blue. And I just want to, welcome you all back. Welcome you all back into the building. It's been about 6 days and a couple of hours since I did my last live on this channel here. And so coming in tonight, coming on, I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, but I wanted to speak to you all about some things. One of the reasons I haven't been on is because Spirit really called me inward, and I received some powerful downloads. And whenever that is happening, that is something that really just gets my attention, and I love it. Whether I'm in the midst of, getting ready to go to the store. Like I remember one of the days I was actually on my way to HEB, my favorite place to be, right? Where I get a lot of downloads. And, my guides came through and wanted to share something with me. And I came back inside and I sat and I listened and I went inward. That's always been a powerful place for me ever since I've been a little girl. That is my place of retreat, to go inward and to listen. And I want to say this because I know quite a few people have been reaching out, like, hey, what's up, Miss Blue? What's going on? This and that. But I want you to understand silence is not absent. Sometimes silence is where the deepest work is happening. And listen, I have been working, but I have been in silent and some profound clarity and some deep, deep work has been happening. So whether I was cooking or driving or cleaning or just moving throughout my day, when my spirit guides, my spirit, my ancestors, and the field itself is speaking, one thing about it, two things for sure. Oh, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. And that actually is a part of my work. And for those of you who have known me long enough, you know that that is a part of my work. That is a part of my life. And right now in this moment, it felt right to return and to share. Sometimes some people disappear because they are lost. Others go quiet because they are listening. But I want y'all to understand what was happening with me. And I also want to say this. I'm so grateful for you guys in this community. And I want to say thank you to so many of you. So many of you have reached out to me. And so many of you have shared your thoughts, or a few of you. But I want to say thank you to everyone who listened and was open to receive the last show that we did. And I want to say thank you for all of you that sort of made space so that we could have new listeners and those who were a part of the movement with Sri Master Gano, and for his tribe to share their thoughts and to share their insight. And I think that shows a lot of spiritual maturity, because I know so many of you wanted to comment, wanted to share your thoughts, but we get to do that here all the time. But I think it's something profound when people can come together from different schools of thoughts and different backgrounds and have a conversation and allow those who want to express themselves. And so I will be looking for more of those opportunities for us to expand our awareness and consciousness and to have honest conversations, real conversations, right? And loving conversations, not necessarily so everyone can agree, but so that we can seek to have understanding. One of the things that always stayed with me for so long from the nation of gods and earths was the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I think too many times we stop at knowledge. And then all of a sudden the trauma happens and we get a little bit of wisdom. But one of the supreme understandings is if you can get to the understanding, and that may be very, very different for everyone who's here, the knowledge, the wisdom, and then your understanding. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. We are the visionary collectives here, the soul family. And one thing I can say about our soul family, you all know who you are, who you're becoming, and who you're being. And you're free thinkers. And so everyone is allowed to expand and to think and to grow and to enrich themselves. Yeah. So I love you guys. And I thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting us, and continuing to be a part. That means the world to me. And I want to say thank you as well to the brother Sri Master Gano and his community and tribe, and to all those who shared their thoughts and their insight as well. Truly, truly means the world to me. Yeah, it does. Now, I have a very awaited update. Okay, I got an update that I know y'all have been waiting on. We're going to get to this because if I don't get this out the way, y'all going to get me. I have an Aura Atlas blueprint update. Okay, let's talk about it. So I want to begin by saying this. I want to begin by saying this. I want to say thank you to every single person who requested one of the Aura Atlas blueprints, and to everyone who requested the digital copy of the Aura Atlas blueprints. I want you to know, as we stand right now for the first round, every single person who requested an Aura Atlas blueprint, it has been sent out. With an exception, okay? And I am deeply, 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 deeply grateful to all of you and to those of you who responded back. So check your email because I sent it to you. There's only one person I wasn't able to get their Aura Atlas blueprint to because they never sent me an email. And that was Rob, R-O-B-B. So Rob, if you're out there, please email me question 4blue@gmail.com. And I will send you the digital copy. Plus, you'll also have the attachments that go along with it, which we're going to talk about that as well. So I am just so excited that you guys have that. I will let you know because some of you, when I was closing out the Aura Atlas blueprints, some of you sent me money and you're going to be in that second wave. I'm going to let you know when the second wave opens back up. Please don't send anything. I will let you know when that opens back up. I will let you know when that opens back up. Okay. So along with each one of the blueprints, you guys got a bonus. I sent a practical guide to help you understand how to work with your aura. Yeah. To work with the energy in a real way. One thing about me, I understand all the magic. I understand everything about all of the metaphysics and the things, all of these different modalities. I'm a certified holistic practitioner. You guys know, studied under the Queen, shouts out to Queen Afua, as well as I'm also a certified Reiki master, right? I love all things energy. Plus, I've developed my own way of connecting with frequency and worked with thousands of clients around the world successfully, right? I like a practical way of tapping into magic, one that you can see results, feel results on the inside, and also results in the physical world in a practical way, right? Not just working with energy to admire it, not just to romanticize with it, but actually begin to listen to it. And what I love about the guide that I put together for you guys, it actually says what I actually know to be true. Your aura is not a mystery to be solved. It's a living language to be felt. We talk about sacred languages, like the Rosetta Stone, we talk about the Pertin Heru, we talk about the Meter Netter, we talk about all of these different sacred texts, but your aura is one as well. It's a sacred text, but it's a living language. It's alive. It's a living language to be felt. And I'm going to tell you that matters so much because too many people want to decode themselves before they even learn how to feel themselves. And what's important is for you to feel yourself before you learn how to decode yourself. You understand? Your aura is not something that needs to be conquered. It needs to be listened to. So enjoy that guide, work with it. I put step by step details in it for how you can activate that. It's going to really take you to a galactic level of really learning how to listen. Listen. Listen to it. Listen to that field. And I'm excited for you. All right. I'm excited for you. Want to welcome Brother Lance in the building. Welcome on in, Brother Lance. Good to see you. Shouts out to Brother Lance, Lola Falana, as well as Brother Dante as well. So welcome you all in. Now, there are some things when it comes to the auric field, because the auric field, your nervous system, all of these things go together. You guys know we've been talking about this for a few years from now, and really more than 15 years, 20 years, or 2 decades that have been doing this work, from the very first breathing treatments to really grounding yourself, wiggling your toes, sitting with your feet flat on the ground, and really connecting with your nervous system. It reminds me of those of you who are in Self-Invested when we did that whole couple of weeks where we were talking about the vagus nerve and the significant role that the vagus nerve plays not only on the planet, but the vagus nerve within your physical body and how it connects to your cosmic body in the sky. And so, one of the things that science is learning, and science is now telling us, that the nervous system, by default, the nervous system, I'm going to give you an example of what your nervous system does. Today, when I was driving, because I had to make a run to Best Buy, by the way, if you don't have hard drives, you might want to pick them up. Did I tell y'all what the Best Buy representative told me about hard drives? Because instead of going to Amazon, picking up a hard drive, ordering it, because I wanted one that had like 5 terabytes on it, because I need to put all of the videos. I try to keep 3 or 4 separate hard drives. So me and Silver, my daughter, we were in Best Buy and we were looking for the hard drives. And when I went over to the section was almost empty. So one of the sales associates came up and I said, excuse me, I said, I'm looking for a 5 terabyte hard drive. And this is the one I'm looking for. So I show him a picture of the one I'm looking for. And he tells me that he doesn't have it in stock. He had a 1 terabyte. He had another brand of a 3 terabyte. And I said, what is going on? Why? Because this is like the second Best Buy we went to and they don't have any hard drives. And he said, all of the tech companies are buying it up. And I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, a lot of the tech companies are buying it up and other people who work with tech companies because they're backing up all the information and they're selling it to these companies that are making AI. Now, this is what this young guy in Best Buy told me. That's what he told me. Now, I ended up finding me a couple of 5 terabyte hard drives and I put them aside. But, I've been telling you guys now, luckily, maybe you guys have not experienced the loss and maybe you've never been through that, but I've been through it where my whole computer sort of kind of went zap up and I hadn't backed up my files. Now, of course, this is many, many decades ago back in the day, but it's not a good feeling. This is time for you to make sure you back up those important files, keep important receipts, things that you need, back up your photos, things like that. A lot of updates are coming out in the tech world for our devices. Make sure you back it up and have a backup, not in a cloud, but a backup off of your device of things that is important to you, things that are significant to you. This would be a good time to do that if you have not. So yes, Divinity Warrior said, yes, this happened to me years ago too. Let me tell you, it's one of the most, talk about a reset. It's one of the most, listen, is I don't even want to bring that energy into the cipher because it's that potent, okay? But you want to do that. But getting back to what your nervous system is doing, because your nervous system is constantly scanning your environment. And while I was on my way to Best Buy, I don't know why sometimes when I get on the interstate, there's people who want to race me. You understand? They want to race. I don't know. It's something about me in my car when they see me and they think it's just a girl. They feel like they can take me. And it's something inside of me that kind of has a little bit of need for speed that I just say, I'm not going to let you do me like that. So if you pull up next to me and you slow down like you want to race, me and my car, we up and at it. So here we go racing down the highway. And all of a sudden my GPS says, slow down. There is I'm trying to think of the word she said. She said, just be advised, there is law enforcement up ahead. She was like, slow down, law enforcement up ahead. I promise you. She said, slow down, law enforcement. So he went thinking, oh, I got you. I knew I could beat you, right? I just took my foot off the gas because you never press on the brake. Because if you press on the brake, the scanner, when it's scanning, when you press on the brake, it locks in on the car that presses on the brake. So never, even if you're speeding, don't press on the brake. Just take your foot off the gas. I took my foot off the gas and we coasted down. By the time we got in range, guess who was pulled over getting a ticket? the car that was racing me. And me and my girl, we just cruised on by. I just looked over at him, winked at him, and kept going. We winked. I didn't want to roll the window down because that would have been taunting. And he might have would have said, hey, you know, she was up there racing with me too, but And we just kept going. We just kept going. We just kept going. Oh, you drive an AMG 63. We got to talk. We got to talk, Divinity Warrior. So you know what time it is. Yes, they always want to race. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I wish I could get a deeper tint. But somehow when I'm out there minding my business, something will pull up next to me and be like, hey. And I'd be like, you don't really want none. You don't really want none of this. You understand? Yeah. So I try not to do that anymore. And I'm not recommending it, okay? But I think maybe one of my past lives, I could have been Dana Patrick, the sister, the race car driver, the lady that drives the race cars, used to drive the race car. I think I got a little of that in me because it's just something about it. If I'm at the light and you keep acting like you going like this, it's on and popping. It's on and popping. No, I don't have a muscle car. I don't do American muscle. No shade, no cap. I don't do American muscle. No, it ain't American muscle. I'm not out here in no Hellcat. No. Not in that. No. But anywho. Oh, you like to do donuts? Let me find out. We got a whole little, we got a whole little tribe over here that likes to be about that life. But, I said that I was going to go to the track and get in a car. And all I want to do is see you zoom. Yeah, and just kind of, zoom a little bit. But let me stay to the point. You know how the scanner, when you see the person sitting in the car and they got that scan gun and they just scan in the highway, they scan in the traffic, they scan in the cars. Well, this is exactly what. Why do you have a pink light? What pink light? First of all, the light is not pink. It's purple. Like all about frequency. But anywho, I hope it ain't bothering you. I hope it ain't bothering you. You in a T-bird? You in a T-bird? Okay, you in a T-bird. Okay. Yeah, Danica. Yeah, her name is Danica, the next Danica Patrick. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. So, this is what your nervous system is doing. Yeah, this is what your nervous system is doing. It's scanning the environment. And what your nervous system has been trained to look for. What your nervous system is trained to look for. Am I safe? This is what your nervous system is looking for. Am I safe? Am I supported? Am I under some kind of pressure? Or do I need protection? Right? Do I need protection? And in physical language, what that is saying, that is the language of survival. That is the language of survival. But I want you to think about this in a more esoteric, sort of metaphysical way. The aura is doing something similar, but just kind of in a very subtle way. So your nervous system reads the physical world. That's what your nervous system is reading, the physical world, right? And your aura is reading the energetic world. And this is why sometimes we can feel so this is why sometimes we can feel so overwhelmed at times. For those of us who are so connected, we can feel so overwhelmed at times because that's what's happening. Your nervous system is picking up on tone, it's picking up on movements, it's picking up on expressions and the environment and like everything that's happening around you. And your aura is picking up on intentions. So powerful on intentions, frequencies, distortions, coherence that's happening, and also what is not being said. There is some powerful words that can be spoken, but I think even more powerful about what is not being said. So, when you have sort of these things that come up to you and you say, and I know you guys, you can let me know, when you say, I felt something was off, like something in your spirit just felt like something is off before anything happened, like there's no physical evidence that anything is going on, but you felt that something was off. I want you to know that's not just your mind, and that's not just your imagination. That's not what's happening. That is your nervous system and your auric field. They are communicating together to let you know. It's so powerful. And you will hear so many teachers, especially in this time. I've been working on it for a long time, and I know a few others, but really we've been on this for quite a while. I have been doing this work here of seeing how these two fields are coming together. You understand? Coming together. Yeah, yeah. So I want you all to know that's not your mind playing tricks on you. And it's not just your nervous system. You understand? This is your nervous system and your auric field. These two are talking together. One is reading the matter, the other one is reading the patterns, and the nervous system hears the world through the body. This is how the world is speaking through the nervous system, through your physical body. And the aura hears the world through frequency. And we know it's all about frequency. It's all about frequency. Okay? It's all about frequency. Yeah. So now I'm going to speak a little bit more about Jupiter direct, and I'm definitely going to be giving you guys these seven things to recognize. So when we get to that, you can feel free to jot it down and put it. I want to acknowledge that Lola Falana just came up in the building. So good to see you, Lola Falana, and everyone else who is joining us. Lola Falana, Brother Lance, both of those are two of the moderators in the building, along with Mr. Dante. So now that Jupiter has gone direct, and I want you to think about this. Jupiter has gone direct after being retrograde. And what retrogrades symbolize, not physically, because no planet physically goes backwards, but energetically, it goes backwards. You understand? It's kind of like you having a thought. Have you ever got in the car? You're about to get ready to go somewhere. Maybe you're headed to work. Maybe you're headed to the gym, or maybe you're getting ready to go to the grocery store or to pick up your kids or to do something. And all of a sudden you're in the car and you're driving. And then all of a sudden in your mind, you start thinking, damn, did I make a list? What are the things I got to get at the grocery store? Did I forget something? You're not back at home, but you have gone back over what you did before you left. Did you close the garage? Did you lock the door? Did you set the alarm? Did you bring the things with you that you needed? This is kind of what retrograde is. You're going back over what just happened. You're going back over what you just went through. And so when we talk about in astrology of a planet going retrograde, it is like taking a to-do list and checking the to-do list. You've already left the house, but now you have your list. You're going back over all the things you did to prepare you for where you are right now. So I want everybody to think about, maybe I'm going to give you a couple of key points to think about, and you let me know what resonates with you when it comes to this. Because some of the themes, there you go, Mama Nisi. Did I cut the stove off? That's a true story. That's a real one right there. You know, you think about all of those things that you was supposed to do, and you're thinking about it. But I want you to go back to last year around April. Around April. See what themes came up for you, as well as last year around August. Around the August, mid-August, September timeframe, early September, what was happening in your life at that time? What kind of things was going on for you during that time? I'm going to give you another point of reference. I was in the Akashic Files, in the records, deep into the records this week. And one of the other points was around May, June timeframe. What kind of things came up during that time frame that maybe it was an opportunity for you to do something, but you decided not to do it, or something got canceled, something got delayed, something got postponed? What happened during that particular time frame? These are going to be some key points to go back. Not that the same thing will repeat itself, because that's not it, but there may be similar themes that are coming back that you're going to get an opportunity to go back over and review. For some of you, it will be a second chance. A second chance. For some of you, things that you did not have the courage or the guts to do back then, it's going to happen. And stay with me. One of those scenarios could be that you talked about leaving your job. This is just a scenario. And maybe you didn't have the guts to do it then. You talked about it. You wanted to do it. You said you were going to do it, but you didn't do it. And so now two things can happen. One, this window that we're coming into, you get an opportunity to have another way to earn a living, or get employment, or to follow your dreams, or to do something different. You will find another way to do that, or you will get fired from your job. That's how that works. Remember, everything is working for you. Everyone in your life is working for you. It doesn't mean that you're in alignment with everything that comes into your scope. But what it does mean, it's giving you an opportunity to do a couple of things. For some of us, it may be the power to grow. So some of the things that triggered you before might not trigger you now. You will be presented with some of the same situations to see, did you have any spiritual maturity that has happened since the last time we've been in this energy? So something that may have been paused, or maybe there's some sort of legal case that's going on. Maybe you're waiting on a settlement. Maybe there's a situation, because I feel like some of you are waiting on some money that was sort of willed to you through your ancestors, or maybe it was a great uncle or aunt, or you found out your father had some land, or something was left to you or a family member, and something is in probate, or you get a letter from the courts, or something else is coming up, and it's an opportunity for something that has been under review to come back up. Or just like the brother who recently was incarcerated for a crime he did not commit. He was a part of it. I can't remember the state. Forgive me. It might have been Ohio. And he was under the death penalty they wanted to do to him, but they wrote to the governor because he wasn't even in the vicinity when the person during the robbery, even though he was a part of it, was alive. He was not even around. But he was the one who went to prison for that. He has been under review. And so because this time has come back up, he's no longer under a view. He has been granted clemency. And guess what? And so even though he will still be in prison, he is not going to be under executed under it. So things that have been under reflection, right? And I say that word, with a little bit of under reflection, some things that you've been kind of taking a look at it, but you really ain't really want to take a look at it, not a deep look at it. These are the things that's coming back around. Or all of the things that's been happening outside in your world, these things are now working their way inward, right? And so now it's turning inward. And now it's beginning to move forward. I want you to look at those things that are happening. Brother Lance says, because I got the new job, I would have been still stuck with the old job, with the new job, but the old job let me go. And now I work one job, making wages of 3 jobs. Crazy magic. And I think I remember, if I can kindly say, we spoke about that. You know your magic for real. So congratulations. It's important that we acknowledge our magic and our power. It's so important because too many times we let these things slip by like it's just everyday living, like it's just happening as if someone else is orchestrating these movements. But these are things that we have put into motion. And your presence, being present, standing in your power and understanding your consciousness is what brings these signs and symbols as awareness to you for your magic. That's what I mean when I say know your magic. And so these things are starting to move forward. This is why I have been telling you guys since the end of last year, beginning of this year, if you have something going on with your health, please, please get a hold of it now. Because things are going to move forward. We talk about Jupiter as this planet of luck, and it really is. But when I talk about luck, and shout out to the Lucky Blueprint and the Lucky Blueprint Expansion Kit, I'm really talking about where actions, intention, and opportunity all meet in a medici effect. Luck doesn't happen without your participation. But there's more that Jupiter stands for. We know Jupiter is about expansion. So as we make this crescendo across the Golden Bridge into the age of the Aquarius energy, this is what I have told you guys. I don't feel we're on a spiritual journey at all. We're on a journey of expansion. And Jupiter is about expansion. Jupiter is about truth. Jupiter is wisdom. It's higher understanding, not surface level understanding, but a higher level of understanding. It's about meaning, and it's also about perspectives. And you will see that there will be so many new perspectives, so many different things that will be happening, that will be coming up, that will be shifting and changing in your world. These things are not happening by osmosis. They are happening based on your actions, your intentions, right? And your feelings. These are all the things that come into play. So when Jupiter goes direct, it can feel like a larger truth is starting to rise up inside of you, you know? A larger truth rising up inside of you, right? So something you knew, but you couldn't fully access it. You know, sometimes I think we, have circumstances and things that happen to us in our lives, and we know the truth, but we didn't have full access to it. When Jupiter goes direct, it's symbolizing what's happening inside of you, something you felt, but you just couldn't name it yet. You knew you felt it, but you just could not name, what is this? Sometimes I have things that happen and I can't move past it, no matter if I practice it, no matter if I write it out, no matter if I speak it out. It's just something that will not allow me to name it yet. When Jupiter goes direct, that something that was in a slumber, it starts to stir. It starts to stir again. So you can think of it like this. Jupiter moving direct is like the universe opening a window inside of your consciousness. And it's like fresh air coming in that clears the fog. Remember, in one of my predictions, I told you guys there will be physical fog because there's internal fog. Well, see, this moving direct, that fresh air is coming in, and what's happening when that fresh air comes in, it starts to clear the fog, and suddenly you can see what has already been there. And that's the magic. That thing you felt but you couldn't name, oh, you can name it now. You understand? That's something you knew but you didn't have full access. Oh, you got all access to it, full access to it now. Something that was in a slumber inside of you. Oh no, it's wide awake, baby. It's wide awake. It's wide awake. Yeah. When Jupiter wakes up, denial. Denial gets harder to maintain. It's almost impossible. Yeah. Now, here's the interesting thing. I want to say shouts out to all of my Cancers and Cancer risings, and even those of us who carry strong Cancer placements, because Jupiter entered into the sign of Cancer, this beautiful space here. And it was retrograde. It was going back over some things, giving you an opportunity, as my daddy used to tell us, to catch yourself before you wreck yourself, right? And now that Jupiter is going direct in Cancer, this is a season that lands so deeply right now because of the Cancerian themes around emotional safety, and think about what's happening in the world. And, it's like we're in a red alert. You know, this energy of red alert is happening at this time, and shouts out to the DJ Red Alert. But this red alert energy is happening on an emotional level. The emotional safety and themes around memory and ancestral energy is happening. We're speaking about the inner home. Because, of course, Cancer also represents the physical home, but it also represents the inner home, the body's instinctive intelligence, because this is what Cancer rules over. So if you know anyone who is Cancer, they can read the room, so to speak. They can read the mansion. They can read the home, because this is about the instinct coming through the body's intelligence. And so many of us, depending on where that Cancer lies within your blueprint, your cosmic blueprint, right? Your astrological blueprint, that Cancer energy is waking up that inner home through your body. And this is another reason why it is so important that you take care of all of your bodies, your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body, your etheric body. All of your bodies needs to be taken care of at this time. So here, let's look at this more in an esoterical way so you can understand this. You know, Cancer deals with what is stored. I want to say that again. Cancer deals with what is being stored. Okay? What is being stored? Cancer deals with remembering what is inherited and what lies beneath words. So this is not just a mind shift. This is an emotional shift. This is a body shift. This is a memory shift. It's a lot going on. Cancer is moving direct for everyone on the planet. This has nothing to do with the system, a sun sign, a rising sign, a moon sign. It's moving direct for the collective. It is moving direct. It's moving. And so a lot of people right now are not just changing their minds. And I want you to think back over the last 8 to 10 days. I guarantee you there is, as our girl sings about, one thing that got you tripping that you done changed your mind on. If you got one thing that you done changed your mind on in the last 7 to 10 days, I want you to put a 1 in chat. If you've changed your mind on something in the last 10 days, between the last 10 days, I want you to put a 1. I want you to put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1. Put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been some things, baby. Baby. Woo. Oh, I done changed my whole mind. Okay? But this is not just about changing your mind. What is happening is you are recovering a part of your soul. You are literally tapping into your Akashic Files, and you are recovering what you once did not remember, and you have woken up. That spark, that flame, that light woke you up, and you said, you know what? I am going to flip it and reverse it. I am going to change my mind. That's some power right then. Because you know there are forces out here. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot happening in the world. And there's not a day that I don't wake up that I am not sending collective energy to those who are open to receive it. But don't get distracted. A lot of this is here to distract you from the power that is being activated and illuminated inside of you. Osmosis is happening, but it cannot happen without your consent. And if you are too distracted with what he's doing and what she's doing and what they said and what he said and what she said and what they meant and what he did and what mama did and what daddy did and what my cousin didn't do and what this mean and what that don't mean and how much I know and how much they know and who's against who and who for who and where am I going next and what she thinks and who she thinks she is and all of these distractions out here. What I need to get, what I want more of. If you're too distracted, you can miss your activation. That's the real activation, the DNA explosion. But if you think that it's coming from something outside of yourself, and you start to focus your power, your energy, I call it tea time. Because women have been having tea since the beginning of time. In ancient Kemet, all the way back to Mesopotamia, we have been sipping tea. But tea really, as I see it, is time, energy, and attention. So who are you giving the real tea to? This is not a slang that belongs to an undercurrent or a particular social group. This is something that has been embedded into the elements of humanity that the divine feminine brought into being. I'm just saying. Don't let the power, the forces that's working against, because in this duality here of this against that, there's always going to be the light and the dark working against each other, one attempting to consume the darkness and the other for the expansion to distract you from your own divinity. So a lot of people are recovering parts of themselves. This is kind of like the Osirian drama, where Osiris was chopped up into all of these pieces. They told you that story so you can understand not just how to put a man back together, but how to put yourself back together. Sometimes we become so literal. We forget that we must exist not just on the 3D plane, but these higher dimensions. And what must apply in your partnerships must apply in your relationships. But I can't apply these things in my relationships if I'm not applying them within my own essence of who I am. So remember that. Remember that. Remember that. Not just a mind shift. This is an emotional shift, a body shift, a memory shift, a recovering of parts of yourself, parts of your soul. We're living in a time. One of the things my guides showed me, and I know this, it's 911 where I am. What Wycliffe said, somebody please call 911. That's right. They want you to be knocked down. And some people are working to help knock you down and they don't even realize that's what they're doing. They think they're helping you. And that's why God is self-realization. It's not Ms.Blue realization. It's not your daddy realization, not your mama realization. It's not even your children realization, your man realization, or your woman realization. It is self-realization. You have to have that within yourself. You must start asking yourself these impeccable questions. Right now, a lot of people on the planet are realizing. They're having realizations. Like I said, like they don't feel the same in the same space. A lot of you will have moved physically because you move mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You are moving right now. So when a certain time comes, you may move again, or you may begin to renovate your whole home. You may want to start all over, mix it all up, pull it all down, and start over again. Some of the realizations you are having right now is that you don't want to speak the same way. I woke up to this realization. I don't want to speak the same anymore. Mm, mm. Some of you are coming face to face this self-realization that you don't want to be used anymore. You are no longer interested in wanting to be used. Y'all stay with me. These are my realizations that I know my guides have shared that are collective realizations. Some of you right now are realizing that you cannot keep abandoning yourself and calling it peace anymore. You can't keep abandoning yourself and calling it peace. That's not peace. So, remember when we're talking about planets, when I speak of them, Cancer, I'm talking about a collective consciousness. Because Cancer does not ask what looks like home. That's not what Cancer is asking you. Cancer is not telling you to go find this huge house. You know, I was watching this video that came across my feed, and this video on the feed was about the singer Adele, and they was talking about how she purchased Sylvester Stallone's house, Rocky, you know, Rocky's house, and that she purchased that house for some, I don't know, some astronomical number of millions of dollars. And she was investing like something like $800 something million in renovating the whole entire home, and how she had brought all of these other mansions there in Hollywood. And I only bring this up to say, I think about that song Adele sung, two of her favorites I love. One is Rolling in the Deep, and the other one was Hello from the Other Side. You know, she's originally, I think, from the UK, and now she's here in America. You know, sometimes it takes a while before these stories start to play out in the physical world and we get a deeper understanding of that. But I thought about that because Cancer does not ask what looks like home. Cancer is not telling you to go find a place that looks like home. That energy is not calling that in you. It asks what feels safe enough for your soul to live in. So I want you to think about that the next time you think about your sacred space, your home. Is this space safe enough for your soul to live there? You understand your soul is living in this space that I'm in with this purple light. Is it safe enough for my soul to live here? Absolutely, yes. Is your space safe enough for your soul? Because that's what this energy is calling you to. Now, I want to talk about how I got to the spell is breaking. And we're going to talk about the 7 signs, not the 7 sins, but the 7 signs. Okay? Because there is a spell that is breaking at this time. You understand? There is a spell breaking at this time. Not in a dramatic, I'm not talking fantasy kind of way, but I'm talking about a real way. In a human kind of way. And whenever I speak about human, you know I'm speaking about the body, the nervous system, because this is what I'm talking about. When I say human, I'm not just talking about the human. I am talking about the physical body. I'm talking about the nervous system. I'm talking about the auric body. I'm talking about something that will affect the body, because that's where the human body lives. And so the spell that is breaking is the spell of numbness. And you all let me know how you feel about that. Has there been some things that's come up for you that you have said to yourself, normally I can ignore this ish, but right about now, I can't ignore this. Oh, I can't play dumb to this. I can't go numb to this. The spell of numbness is going away. The spell of over adapting. You ever seen, or have you ever been in a time or in a space or a season where you were over adapting, trying to survive? The spell of living disconnected from your body, where you were only here, not paying attention to the signs and symbols and the things that the body was telling you. And I can only speak to that because it was a time in my life where I was disconnected from my body. And anytime I felt something move in my body, I got the shaking. Something must be wrong. I'm feeling my body. So if it wasn't something of some sort of intimacy, then it was something of pain. Otherwise, my body was numb. It was completely numb. I have gone numb through experiences, through relationship trauma, through physical trauma, through, loud noise trauma, and just life itself. But that spell, I worked very hard to heal that within myself. Like many of you, you've been on this healing journey for quite a while. And one of the questions I get asked all the time, people say, Ms.Blue, when I did that breathing exercise, I heard this for years, that you told me to do, I started feeling funny in my body. Oh, when I did that thing you told me to do and I listened to that spirit quest, I felt something in my leg. I felt something happening in my leg. I felt pain in my back. I felt something hurt inside my chest. I felt like I got lightheaded. And I just smiled. I just smiled. And the reason I smiled, because I realized that that person was able to connect their physical body back to their selves. They became whole again. They were breaking the spell, as I had broke the spell, and as many of you have broken the spell and in the process of breaking the spell. The truth is, and I learned this, and I've said it 100 times, we're so used to living in this dense, thick 3D reality that when we get into a higher state of frequency, it feels uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable at first. It feels uneasy. I used to say this all the time. And, I caught a lot of flack, so I'm going to admit I kind of piped down to keep the peace. But I would tell people I don't do anything unless it almost brings me to an orgasm. Because once I realized that energy is supposed to feel alive and you're supposed to feel your body, if I'm not feeling energy floating through my whole body from the tips of my toes to the top of my head, then something is wrong. And this is why I teach all of my students in any class or any one-on-one session or any client that I'm working with that you should constantly be pulling energy through the soles of your feet, because that is another point of entry into the physical body, is through the soles of your feet, from the core, from the center of earth up into your physical body. Pull that energy into your physical body. We are electrical beings. And you can do this whether you live in a penthouse or whether you are living somewhere out in Serengeti or whether you're somewhere out in Switzerland and the top of the mountains or in Africa on one of the coastal lines. You don't have to have physical grass, because you are an electrical being yourself and you can direct energy to move inside your body. That is one of the quickest ways to not only heal, but to expand your auric field and ground yourself and electrify your cells and your subatomic particles. But I'm going to digress because I've been talking about that for more than 2 decades. But pulling that energy in your body, you're supposed to be feeling that on a constant basis, but we're so used to being numb that we think when something moves in the body, that's when something is wrong. It's supposed to be numb. But this is one of the spells that's breaking. Being disconnected from your body. We are traveling through the photon belt right now as we are cascading inside of planet Earth. And as we're moving through the photon belt, through our Milky Way galaxy, our physical bodies, all them G forces, them God forces, them God particles is hitting you. And so it requires that we start to take better care of these vehicles that we are in, this avatar that is allowing us to be here. And things are speeding up now that Jupiter is going forward. And this was why I keep recommending, and I will, however, whoever takes care of your health as a healer, I don't care who you go to, as long as you heal what is going on, your health should be the first line of your expansion. The first thing to manifest needs to be your health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your energetic health. Because if you take care of that health, all the rest, every currency will flow with grace and ease and power. The other spell that is breaking is the spell for mistaking survival for alignment. And this has been a deep spell that has been going on. And with all of these bombs over Baghdad, you know, as B.O.B., the song he sung, all of these bombs in the air, we're realizing, have we been mistaking survival for alignment? The world is waking up to this alignment. Okay? The other spell that the world is waking up to at this time, the spell of confusing noise with truth. One of my neighbors who live about 2 blocks over, well, a block over on the other side, is getting their roof repaired. They're getting a new roof. And so early in the morning, the roofing company is out there and they're banging. And a couple of people have their pets. And the dogs are outside. And when I tell you, you would think that there was a wolf in the neighborhood, the way that they are all foaming at the mouth, barking, insane going on. So one of my other neighbors said, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what if they have someone?" No, that's noise. That's noise. They're barking at the roofers. There's nothing going on. They're not chewing somebody up or something up over there. That's noise. And what is at an all-time high on the planet right now is people are confusing noise with truth. And don't get me wrong, truth is subjective. But what I always like to do when I want to quantify something as truth, I quantify it in my own life. If there is no movement, if there is no expansion, if there is no growth, then it's not a truth for me. Now, the illusion could be that I didn't receive it, but it still stands the same. It ain't a truth for me. So we have to make sure that we are not confusing people making a whole lot of noise for truth. Okay? For truth. So I want to give you 7 signs, 7 living thoughts, 7 awakenings, 7 markers that the spell is breaking in your life. And you get to have them, use them to see if it will be a truth for you. I don't decide that. You decide that. Now, we're going to go through them in detail. So here's the first one. The 7 signs the spell is breaking. Number 1. I had to put this one as number 1. And if you know, you know. Chocolate Strawberry said, "I'm catching what you're saying, Ms.Blue. I know you are, Chocolate Strawberry. I love that name. And right about now, some chocolate strawberries do seem good. Maybe with a little bit of dip it into some Godiva chocolate. That would be awesome. But we taking care of our health. We're the Bodos. I can't even say it. The Bodosavis. Bodosavis. I shouldn't have looked at it because I could have said the word, Brother Lance. They in the building. All right, so here we go. Here's the first one. You can no longer comfortably betray yourself. And many of you have said, Miss Blue, I can relate to that. This is one of those, just nod your head to this. You can no longer comfortably betray yourself. The first sign the spell is breaking is when you can't do this and you're comfortable. You know you're betraying yourself, right? What used to feel normal now feels expensive. That's too expensive. That's expensive. That feeling, that emotion to ignore is going to cost me. Saying yes when you mean no, ooh, baby, that will cost you a lot. When you say yes, when you mean no. And I want to bring this up because I'm just a real girl. I want y'all to understand I am a real girl. I am not walking around here holier than thou. I don't think I'm real. I'm a goddess. I got God powers and I'm real. Okay. How many of you have watched this new season of Love is Blind on Netflix? I just want to know if anybody watched that, because when I see this saying yes when you mean no, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me know if you guys have watched that. Let me know if you're watching that, because, baby, this is a place where you can see when you say yes, but you mean no, how this self-betrayal, how this self-betrayal will come back on you. You understand? Staying quiet when your spirit is screaming. You all let me know how this relates to you. We just at breaking spell number 1. You just started last week, Christine. Oh, we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to talk about it because it's some very powerful dynamics in it. Okay. Holding yourself in places that drain you, that just zap your energy. You understand? This is how you know the spell breaks. When self-abandonment stop feeling convenient. When you know, listen, it's no longer convenient for me to keep acting, doing, and being and saying these things. So, here's the truth. You might still do it once or twice, but now it feels immediate. Your body reports it. Like, as soon as you say yes, when you mean no, listen, yes, new diamond, that part, that's right. Oh, the body gonna let you know immediately. Immediately, it's gonna report it. Your energy is going to report it. And your peace, baby, your peace is gonna come on like the 5 o'clock news. It's gonna let you know. It's gonna let you know. Your peace is gonna come on. Know that healing begins the moment your nervous system stop accepting lies as normal. Because let's just keep it a buck. That's what's been going on. We have pretty much been training our nervous system to accept a lie like it was the truth. I mean, listen. Let's go to number 2. So this is about the spells, breaking the spell. Okay, your sensitivity is becoming intelligence. Yeah. You know, before, your sensitivity was something you felt like, oh, I got to get over this. Why am I being so sensitive? I got to stop being so sensitive. I got to stop being so totally emotional. But now your sensitivity is hitting a little different. It's coming in as intel, right? So the second sign, your sensitivity is becoming intel. You're not just feeling more, but you understanding more. So there is no more of, let me make sure this ain't coming from me and to me. You're not doing that. No, no, no. Your sensitivity is coming in and you like, oh, I peeped that. Oh yeah, I caught that. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got it. So, literally, you know how we say, I feel you? We really feeling it for real. We feeling you, and the intel is there to understand. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. I feel the need to move on from certain types of people. Absolutely. That's that intel. That's that intel that's coming in. You've noticed this is it. You're feeling more and you're understanding more. You're noticing what environments do to your body. It's like I've always been very sensitive with my body. And that used to be kind of a downfall when I was young because I could feel it before I arrived. I could be in the car, we could be going somewhere, and my parents would be saying, "Yeah, we're going to go over here." I could feel it before I got there. You understand? And I consider that to be sort of kind of like a curse. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't good to feel that, but now I so welcome it. And so what you're noticing right now is your environment. You're noticing what different environments do to your body and what conversations do to your feel, what content does to your thoughts, and what people do to your internal weather. I got to thinking about something the other day, and it started hailing and raining and storming on the inside. On the inside. I said, oh no, oh no. We got to leave that alone. We got to leave that alone because that is messing with my internal weather. It's giving me the intel. You understand? This is not you being fragile. This is really you going through a refinement process. And that sensitivity is giving you the intel so that you can refine. Sensitivity is not a weakness, and we should teach this really to our children as well, and also to our own inner childs. It really is advanced technology. It's an advanced perception without any lies. There's no lie in it. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about lies. It's no lie that's in it. So let's go to number 3. And you all let me know because I'm really loving the conversation. That you guys are having in chat there as well. Let's talk about the third sign. The third sign is that your body is becoming more honest than your performance. Yeah. The tight shoulders, exhaustion, the sudden need for rest, the inability to fake enthusiasm. I just want to keep going back to Love is Blind when I think about the inability to fake being enthused. You know how somebody they stuck on surprise, they smiling, and what was the song? The tears. What was it? Smokey Robinson when he said something about the smile on your face is just an illusion. I used to be scared of that song when I was a child, by the way, of that clown. Dee, dee, dee. Oh, something about that song. Anyway, yeah, so that part, you understand? The body starts speaking because the consciousness is waking up. And, when the spell is strong, here's what happens. The body carries what the person cannot acknowledge. So what people cannot acknowledge, the body is going to carry it. It will show up in the body some kind of way. It will show in the body what the person can't acknowledge. And when the spell breaks, the body becomes the messenger instead of the storage unit. The body is no longer storing these things. The body becomes the messenger. So here's a truth that I learned on my journey. The body is often the first place that truth arrives when the mind is still kind of negotiating. The body is also the last to let go. It's the last part to let go, sometimes the toughest, because when that spell is strong, the body carries what the person won't acknowledge. You know? Let's go to step 4. Let's go to step 4. So step 4, silence. Step 4 is that silence starts to become a useful tool. And this step came to me some years ago, and I really, really understood it, in a deeper way. You no longer need constant chatter. You no longer need constant output. You no longer need constant updates to feel connected. You begin to start realizing that some of the greatest information is not arriving loud. It's not loud. It's not public. It's in here. It arrives in the pause, while driving, while cooking, while washing the dishes, while doing your hair, while washing your body, while sitting in stillness. It arrives in the in-between spaces, That in-between space. The resting tree. You ever looked outside and seen a tree? Maybe you were at a park and you were walking somewhere and you could really, really communicate with, the nature spirit, and you felt the spirit of the tree telling you to come and sit under a tree. This is why when you go to campuses and you go to parks and open spaces where there's beautiful trees, I think it's a natural ability for us to go want to sit up under the tree. I call it the resting place. It's the in-between space. This is where guidance can enter without force. There is no forcing this insight, this higher wisdom of understanding. It is just this guidance that is just coming in a very graceful way. So when the spell breaks, silence stops feeling empty and it starts feeling like intelligence. Just intelligence. And this is where your stillness practices can be so profound. Meditation, sitting in silence. I used to do dark room meditations or blackout meditations and just get butt naked, not afraid, but butt naked, do my blackout curtains in my room and just sit in my bed with all the lights out in silence. It's one of the ways to upgrade your self-love for yourself. Have conversations with yourself. Listen. Allow that guidance from your higher self to come in and drop down deep within your dantian and within your soul and embrace that intelligence. It does the body good. It does the mind good. It does the spirit good. Yeah. Let's go to 5. Because the 5th one is huge, okay? You begin to see your emotional patterns clearly without becoming them. Now, for everyone who was in the All About Frequency class, we had are trackers where they train proficiently and able to do this, where they could see their emotional patterns clearly. And for those of you who worked in the Galactic E-Files and the Seven Suns, you were able to do the exercises, the activation, so that you could see the emotional patterns so clearly, but you were not becoming them. You stopped saying, this is just who I am, and you started saying, this is a pattern that I have learned. This is a pattern I've learned. This isn't who I am, but I have learned this pattern, right? And that changes everything. That's the game changer. You're able to change everything. It shuts it down. That acknowledgement. Remember, you are speaking power, words of hika, power, words of power. That changes it. The moment you bring your power to it, that's it. That's it. It kind of reminds me, well, we won't talk about abracadabra, but remind me, I may want to share something a little later about that. But yes, that word of power, that hika, it changes everything, because what is learned can be unlearned. And truth be told, for most of the old souls on the planet, we are unlearning patterns, unlearning patterns. Yeah. What is inherited can be interrupted. You may have inherited this from your mother, from your father, from your mother's side of the family, your father's side, but you can interrupt that pattern. You can interrupt the broadcast. You know, back in the day when, we watched television, they would say, this program is currently being interrupted. Yeah, we need to put some PSAs out there and PSAs and do some, interruptions of the spirit. But you're really interrupting the mind, and the unconscious is what you're interrupting. Because what is unconscious, or what is in the unconscious, right, can become conscious. So it's not that you're just working off of your unconscious. You can become conscious of that. That is possible. So maturity, and I want us to really sit with this and let me know how you all feel. Maturity is when you stop worshiping your wounds as your identity. And I know that's a ouch for some people, because some of these wounds that we are experiencing at this time is very fresh. But I want to give you a call to action. Please stop worshiping your wound as your identity, because it is not. And so the real spiritual maturity comes when you can stop worshiping your wound as your soul identity, and you start leading by your pain of what happened to you and what you experienced and what was done to you. That is not your identity. Is it real that it happened? Absolutely. But it is not your identity. So let's go to 6. The 6th sign. This one is interesting, but I know you all know this. This one I know y'all know. If you've been listening and you've been doing this work, I know you know this. The 6th sign. And interesting enough, we're talking about that 6th sign. We're talking about that third eye, right? The 6th sign is that your energy starts to reorganize things. Everybody want to have a little telekinesis going on in their life. I remember when my daughter was, I think she was in elementary school. When she was in elementary school. And I don't know what she was watching on television. I can't remember the name of the program she was watching or some kids shows. And we were going out into the garage. And she said, "Look, Mom, I'm doing telekinesis." And the little sock started floating across the dryer. And I looked at her and I smiled and I said, "Yes, baby. Hurry up and put your shoes on. That's beautiful. We got to get ready to go to school." She said, "Watch." And she took both of her hands and the little socks just kept sliding across the dryer. This is a real story. And said, "Boop," fell on the floor. She said, "That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for my socks. You didn't see me do telekinesis." So the sixth sign is that your energy starts to reorganize things. And you will know because what happens is certain people fade. You don't make them go away. You don't tell them to go away. You don't even push them away. They just fade. Certain interests start to fall away. I remember when I told you guys about my love for Godiva chocolate, and you guys started, y'all were no help. Y'all were sending me Godiva by the caseloads from around the world. I got Godiva from Japan. I got Godiva from France. I got Godiva from Spain. I got Godiva from all different parts of the world. And you guys would say, Ms.Blue, Ms.Blue, I sent you a package. And it would be Godiva, 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 Godiva. That was a craving of mine. And once I started to break some of them spells on my body, when I started to break that spell and really kind of get into health, those cravings started disappearing. And I started telling you guys that I would only eat it once a month. I would have a piece of Godiva chocolate. And boy, oh boy, did I cherish that. And then it faded from once a month to every 6 months. And then it faded from every 6 months to once a year. And then it faded to, I can't tell you, I think I had a piece of Godiva chocolate a year and a half ago. Before that, maybe even 2 years. So certain cravings will start to disappear. And what then begins to happen when the sixth sign spell begins to break, you will have new curiosities that will start to emerge. And so things like liquid magic, that does the body, the mind, the auric field, the nervous system. It does the body good. And if you know about liquid magic, begins that curiosity begin to emerge. And then new boundaries started to form. And your system will start showing and choosing coherence over habit. So more things that were in alignment with where I am and what I was doing, that coherence started to come together with people. That coherence started to come together with interest. That coherence started coming together, no more cravings, as well as the curiosities of the things and the boundaries started to come, and the habits begin to fade. They begin to fade. They begin to fade away. So I want you to know that if you are in the midst of this happening, this can feel strange. I'm going to quote somebody here, and you let me know who this is, because I know they're here. I'm going to quote one of the Soul Family members here, one of the visionaries here. Because they said this and it was so profound. It's, and I think it was in the Dream Makers class, and shout out to them again. But It can feel strange because your old identity wants a meeting before the change can happen. That part. Matter of fact, it was someone inside the Dream Makers class. And she was saying that we were talking about the homework. And she was like, I didn't do the homework because my old identity was trying to still fight my new identity. And that happens. You understand? It's like, it's going to feel strange at this stage when this is happening because your old identity it wants to have a meeting. It wants to, can I please just talk to you? It's like somebody trying to spin the block. They want to come back around. You understand? When they know you are about to really move forward, you've already put things in motion. They want to come back around. They want to have a meeting before they want the change to happen. But let's just keep it to work, and let's just keep it to the meeting. But here's something I want you to know. The awakening doesn't always send a memo, baby. The awakening doesn't send a memo. You could go to sleep with one identity, yarn and flip over to your left side, and be in a new identity. Just that quick. There is no memo that's going to get sent. By the time you put on your bedroom shoes, you get out of your bed and you stretch and your feet hit the floor, you are already fully embodied into your new beingness and your new identity. So I want you to keep that in mind for that sixth sign that the spell is breaking. You may not get a memo. You understand? You may not get a memo. Somebody may not call you to have a meeting. Somebody may not ring your phone. You may not get that text message. That alarm may not go off. I'm just saying. I literally had a thought drop down in my mind. And I hadn't been on social media for a while, but this day I opened my phone and baby, something hit my timeline. And I knew yet again, there was no meeting. There was no memo that was sent. I was in my new identity. And that was the proof. Something I had a connection with, still have a very connection with, for a very long time, showed up, and showed out. Yeah. So remember the awakening. Listen. Yes, I love this. Let me put this in here. Elisa said the awakening, and I'm not saying the name right, I apologize, said the awakening can take you from kindergarten to the university. Say that again. That's right. Without telling your parents. Without telling your parents. So I want you to understand that your next life usually begins before your old life agrees to it. So just remember that. Many of you here are wanting to step into your next life, wanting to be in your next life. But I want you to know that your next life has already started because it starts before your old self agrees. All right? Now we're at the seventh one. Whoo, here we go. The seventh sign, the spell is breaking, is that truth becomes oracle kisses. Simple enough to live. I'm just telling you, truth, truth becomes so simple to live. Becomes so simple to live. Not simple because it's small. See, sometimes we think, I've always admired people who can keep it simple. Those who can speak in a language that a young child can understand. Now, there is something for the intellect and a vernacular and all of that. But really, when it comes down to it, the difficult part is simple. And not because it's small, but simple because it's clear. Because it's just that clear. It's not complicated. It's not difficult to understand. It's clear. It's clear. It's simple. It's clear. It's like, yes, I got it. It's clear. You know what drains you. And by the same sense, you also know what restores you. What restores you? What makes you feel full of life and restored? You also know when you're shrinking yourself. You know when you're lying to yourself. You know, yes, you do. You know when you're lying to yourself. And here's something so profound, and I knew I needed to add this. You also know what your spirit has been asking for. You know. You know. You know exactly what your spirit has been asking for. Yeah. And so the only real question is this. Will you? And I want you all to really, I want you to really take this question in. Will you honor what you know? Will you simply honor what you know? The highest truth. And I think someone said this in the room. The highest truth is not hidden. How can I say this? It is simply the truth that you keep postponing. The highest truth. Because there is a truth that exists beyond what I may deem the truth, you may deem the truth, the highest truth. That's not hidden. It is simply the truth that you've been postponing. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, 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 yeah. Will you honor what you know? I will honor what I know. I will honor what I know. I will honor what I know. And so it is. Now, and that is what it feels like as we move through breaking the spell. Jupiter can feel like when going direct. Not the arrival of a brand new truth, but a return of access to what the soul has really been knowing all along. All along. So this is what many of us are feeling right now. A truth that our soul has known all along. All along. Yeah. Yeah. So now we're going to continue. We're going to continue here. We got a little bit more to go. So I want y'all to stay with me. Stay with me. And I know you will. I know you will. We're in this together. I want to talk about this from the Akashic Files perspective. And I want to say that because I've noticed over the last 3 weeks, so many of you have purchased the digital download of the Akashic Files. And I can always tell because when people are purchasing it, it's when the Akashic records have opened back up again. You know, whenever those records open up, I can always tell because it'll be random. I don't mean random to say it like that, but it'll be individuals who, and I think the Akashic Files I've had up since 2018, 2019. I've had that download, digital download available for a while, at least 2020. And I can tell because it'll be a wave of people who go and download the Akashic Files. And if you guys have that from my PayHip store, the digital download store, the link is in my bio. It's a great time to pull out the Akashic Files and begin to work with those records again. And I noticed like last week and this week, so many people have downloaded it. Thank you, Papa Flan. Papa Flan said I had it since 2019. So 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So about 7 years. And I always can tell when I get into the records and I can see that the records are open, I will always have a group of wave of souls that come and purchase just on their own. Some of them will say, this is my first product from you. They will send an email to me, but they will go and download the Akashic records, the Akashic Files from the digital download store. So thank you to everyone for being in that alignment. You understand? Being in that alignment. So looking at it from more of an Akashic Files perspective, right? Jupiter, we talked about earlier, is not just about expansion. And when I talk about expansion, I'm talking about the soul level expansion. I'm not talking just about expanding things, even though it can be physical. But remember, the last stage of any manifestation is the 3D world. When it hits here, it has already started in the mind, no matter what it is that is expanding. You understand? So it's about the expansion of meaning. Understanding the Akashic field holds memories, it holds patterns, it holds imprints, it holds consequences, it holds possibilities. And the records hold the story. It holds the story not just here on earth, it holds the story of all things. And each one of you have the Akashic Files within you. It's not some building sitting in the sky. I've never seen it that way. From the time back of working with Brother Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic and others, Dr. Delbert Blair, and so many others I have worked with on this journey of working inside of the records, it never was that place as such as that. It is a residence, it's a frequency, it's a vibration, right? That we can harness that energy. It's almost like, someone saying, can you get into your Merkaba and light your Merkaba up, right? It's that frequency that you can bring your vibration to access your records, because the records holds all of that. And what Jupiter, the consciousness, the frequency of Jupiter is helping you to do, it's helping you to understand the story. That's the role of Jupiter and the records, is to help you to understand the stories. And this is why this moment can feel so intense. It's not that things are happening. It's that people are understanding what's happening differently. So you have a group of people understanding what's happening over here one way and over here this person. People are understanding what is happening differently. And that's what we're picking up on, right? And when meanings shift, destiny shift. So don't let these dark forces and entities and energy in this world trick us out of our spot. Because when meanings shift, destiny shifts. If you are affirming what you don't want, if you are giving your energy and attention to what you don't want to happen, you are locking in the shift of that destiny. And so now, when we look at earth events, earthquakes, pressure releases, disruptions, I want the humans on the planet to understand something. The planet is not separate from us. It's not. The planet is not separate from us. Earth is a living field, and you are a part of its living field. We're not separate from Earth. So these missions to save the planet is a mission to save yourself. Earth is a reflection of what we go through because we are a part of Earth, and Earth is a part of us. So just as the body stores pressure, that's why you see Earth storing pressure. That's why the earthquake that happened in Chile and the volcanoes and things that's going to be erupting in the waters, coastal lines, and in the seas. Just as the body released pressure, Earth released pressure. You understand? So sometimes what we are witnessing, whether it be through the weather or whether it be geologically, it's also a mirror of what is happening collectively. And so many people are releasing things emotionally in their lives right now. And we will see this reflective in our atmosphere. You know, these are not new teachings. All of our teachers have really taught us this, and our ancestors have understood this and have known this. Now, science is now showing some evidence and proof of this for those who need the scientific aspect of it. But this has always occurred. When you get angry and mad, you are putting that into the atmosphere. We are no more conscious than the earth that we're living on, and earth is no more conscious than we are. We travel within a soul group, even when it comes to the collective consciousness. This is why we cannot get too swept up in to la la land, because we will change our destiny. The story has not been written in stone. It's been carved. And just as we've carved one story, we can carve another. Because if we shift and make that shift in our understanding of consciousness and meaning, the destiny has no other choice but to shift. We are witnessing all of these things that are happening, the buildup, the threshold, the release, the rearrangement, all of these things. And because we are living beings inside of this field that is connected to us, do you know what fascia is? I first understood a deep understanding of fascia from one of the divine priestess Erica, because she's what I call a body doctor, a massage therapist. And I had a small understanding of what the fascia was in the body and what fascia did for the body, but she helped me to understand it in a more expansive way and how important fascia is into the physical body. When you talk to a doctor or you talk to people about the body, they're going to tell you about the bones, the blood, the muscles, the ligaments, but very few people speak about that fascia. That's that thin line. That's that thin line, you know, that thin little membrane line that looks like it's got all kinds of things like in it. If you pull it out, it almost looks like one of your grandma's sweaters that she's had for a long time, and the strings are very thin and it's been knitted and you can pull it and it almost looks like silk, like little strings of silk in there, where communication is weaving a web and going through. And not only is it helping with intel go through, it's helping with the blood to go beneath the skin and the bone barriers. You understand? So when you're putting things like essential oils on your body, and when you're taking a shower, or when you have to have a massage, or when different things happen and you pull a muscle and you're focused on the muscle, you forget about the fascia where the emotional body, the energetic body runs through, where the etheric body goes through, and the mental body is in there, and where we store things, and where we hold things, and where we release things, and where we work things out within ourselves. And sometimes you're not healing inside of your physical body when something's been broken, splint, or hurt. It's not because the muscle can't heal. It's not because the skin won't heal. It's because of some emotions that you have stored deep within your fascia, and it's been stretched beyond capacity. And so we must heal holistically. Because yes, Goddess J11, fascia is holding everything together. And I want you to understand, we and Earth is holding everything together. So our connection with Earth, our connection with the cosmic skies is the fascia. It's the fascia. The sister Healing Wisdom Art says, I taught yoga for 30 years, and yes, you're correct. Listen, don't play with us around here. We know what time it is, and thank you all for that. So, yeah, I want you to know the same field that moves the planets, that same field that moves the planets in the sky, that moves the clouds in the sky, that blows the leaves and the branches on the trees and the grass. That's the same field that's moving through your body. That's moving through your body. So those are the 7 spells and the signs that you are breaking the spell. Yeah, that you are breaking the spell. Some powerful work. We're in some powerful times. Not because someone else created it, but because we have chosen to be present in this time. And that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good thing. The spell is breaking. The spell is breaking for sure. For sure. So take those, use them as you will, and begin to work with them. Speaking of which, the Twilight Zone. I want to tell you guys, did you guys know there was a sister, and I can't think of her name, so forgive me. If anyone knows her name, shouts out to her because I can't remember her, but I came across her post on Instagram, and her post on Instagram was about the Twilight Zone. And did you guys know? I think I told the story. Somewhere I told the story. The Twilight Zone was based off of Ashe to our brother Emmett Till. Yeah, yeah, go figure. And Brother Lance, you just brought up something, the Seven Sisters. And many of you remember one of my very, very powerful shows I did back in the day. I don't know how many years now, don't ask me, was the Seven Sisters of Transformation, Never to Be Forgotten. That show right there. And I will be bringing up some of the goddesses and some of the sisters and doing some story times. So if you all have a story time that you would love for me to dive into, I want you to leave it in the comments. Especially since we're honoring the divine feminine this month, in honor of Women's Month. I want you all to drop it. It could be a goddess, it could be a deity, but we want to get into the feminine energy and we can do some story times. I love doing that. I used to do a series called Speaking with the Ancestors and bring some of the ancestors through some powerful stories. Powerful breakthroughs that happen right here, some stories that changed destiny happen here, especially when it came to Jack Daniels, when it came to um, the teachers in New York City's being held in the rubber room. Some of these stories made national headlines, discovering people who were missing. These things were discovered right here. And when I was telling these stories, you guys want Yin and Ya. I got an email about Yin and Ya the other day, and I love me some Yin and Ya. So maybe that'll be the first one because we're in a lot of water energy right now. Even though this is a fire and an air year, remember what I told you guys in my prediction show, but water will be one of the dominant elements in this year. Now, here's something else I want to do. I also want to take a moment and I want to thank everyone. Like, I'm going to try not to get so emotional right now, but I want to thank everyone who reached out to my daughter. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you all for all of you guys who reached out to Silver for the astrology readings. And she has been having the time of her life doing these readings, and she's so good. I remember when I was working and teaching the astrology class and even studying it myself, and I would talk to her about a lot of the things and, have her kind of go back and forth with me as I go over a lot of different things. And it's so crazy. She was picking up like crazy. And I want to say thank you to everyone who left reviews because she was over the moon for it. And I think many of us know that when we first get started on our journey, as someone who's sharing, guiding, or whatever we want to call it, teaching or sharing, one of the most powerful things I think anyone who's sharing their craft, their gift, their magic with the world is looking for is not validation. It's not for anybody to worship us or anything like that, but just the acknowledgement that what you're doing is helping. And I think it's so powerful when people leave reviews for those of us who are doing this work, because we don't do it for recognition. We do it because we want to share something that's meaningful. And when you leave a comment, when you leave a review, you're giving that energy exchange in a profound way to someone that what they're doing is meaningful. And anyone who does this work, if they tell you that's not something that they want, you know, I don't think they have I think they could be missing a big part of their growth. because it can help you grow, even if the comments are not exactly what you want to hear. It could be learning in it. It could be a deeper level of understanding, and it's a way that the person is expressing to you what you gave to them. It's not your interpretation, and we can always learn from when you guys are leaving comments in chat, when you're leaving comments there, or you email me or you leave a review under it. It's not my words. If you're giving me my words back, I learn nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But when you give a meaningful comment and you give that back to me, that right there is, as you're looking for confirmation, as you're looking for just that extra piece of guidance, you too are giving that guidance back as well. And so it's a part of the process that you two are standing in agreement. You are in agreement with one another. And that agreement will amplify any of the things that happen, So it's not validation. It's not recognition. It is really sealing the session. Spiritually, it's a sealant. You understand? The currency just exchanged the information. But when you leave the review, you seal the exchange and it becomes a spiritual marker. And I would always leave this, and I've been doing this for more than 2 decades. I have to keep saying that because I think it's a part of me that it doesn't seem like it's been that long. And I would always say, if you feel called, please leave a review, because it will serve as a spiritual marker for me and you. And you will always be able to come back to this point, no matter what happened to you before you got to this place. And you don't have to start from zero again, because you're creating spiritual markers for yourself. So yeah, I love what you guys are saying. Brother Lance says it is art. New Diamond says it's a beautiful energy exchange. Chica Rose says law of exchange. Miss Jennifer Bliss says touch and agree. And somebody else said something else. It was something else I wanted to get. It was a good one. Maybe I need to go back up a little bit more. Somebody else said some really, really good one. Something really, really good. But yes, she absolutely, Baby Blue, absolutely is having a ball with you guys and learning so much as well too. And she's putting in a lot of work. So doing those readings as well. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for showing her so much love. Many of you remember her from La 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 La, the remix. I think she was in elementary school when she did that. I think she was just getting ready to leave elementary school and go to middle school. And I had her make that recording for me. And that served as the remix recording that was there. Yes, thank you for that, Miss Jennifer Bliss. She said it's never too late to leave a review. Absolutely. Never too late. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it shows the openness, that the person received, there. So it is a powerful thing. It does say a lot. Yeah. So she was in, I want to say I think she was in her last year of elementary school. And she was going to middle school before she recorded, but she was in elementary school when she recorded it. And I was still, why most people know her as Baby Blue, but she ain't a baby no more. She is. Yeah. So I thank you guys. She is so thoughtful and she is so detailed. My goodness, she is so detailed and she really, really, really takes her time. And hearing that people are enjoying their readings, that brought me so much joy. That brought me so much joy. And so thank you all for supporting her and receiving her work. You missed me playing that. I said I want her to do an updated version, but that's okay. I may go back in the archives and just get the baby blue version and just play it for old time's sakes. Yeah, thank you, Doreen, cosmic researcher. She said yes, so excited for her journey with astrology. Yes, she's a whoo. She loves it. She loves it. And this is the other thing that I want to tell you guys as well too, because I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and you guys know how I feel about questions. I absolutely love them. And so I want to remind you guys, I want quite a bit of it to fill up. I know I haven't done the shows yet lately, but I am going to be doing the shows again. Yes, Christine, if nothing else moves you, life will. Yeah. So, but I want you all, if you have a question that you want to ask about the question, then you can go to the website. I have a website set up for this where you can go to ask.allaboutfrequency369, right? .com, and you can ask your question there. You can actually leave a voice message, a 3-minute voice message. And here's what I want you all to do, because some of you, I don't know where you were in the middle of Grand Central Station. Um, I don't know where y'all were when y'all left the recording, but I hear trains, I hear the car blowing, I hear people talking, and I barely can hear you asking your question. So try to make sure you're in it doesn't have to be perfectly quiet, but in a place where you can ask your question. And you have up until 3 minutes. So take your time and really ask your question, because it's a question line. So if you say things like, what do my spirit guides want me to know? I can do it, but that's not going to be a question I really reach for, because I may speak about something you don't want. You're not there. So ask a question that you really want the answer to. And the website to go to is ask.allaboutfrequency369.com. But everything is in the show notes. Everything is in the show notes. I want you to understand that a lot of times the next transmission begins with a question. I want you to know that it begins with a question. That has always been my thing that really accelerated my learning, is to ask genuine questions. I'm curious about life, excited about life. Life is worth living, so live. So I'm excited. So going into this weekend, here is something I want to leave you with. And I'm going to put my email address. Someone put my email address in the chat. Someone's asking, but it's also in the show notes too. So if you go to the show notes, you will be able to get my email address as well too. It's there. But going into this going into this remix weekend, I want to leave you with a few steps. I wanted to leave you with a few steps. And yeah, please try again, unique perspective. I did do a few shows and answered the questions, but yeah, please leave the question again. And just let me know when you start the recording, Miss Blue, I left a question before, because they come in. It's like a whole bunch of them coming in at one time. Thank you, Lola Falana, for leaving the question. But here's the thing that I want to leave you guys with: a few other simple steps, just a few simple steps. First, I want you to pause before you react as we go into this weekend. And I want your nervous system, I want you to allow your nervous system to catch up with your spirit. Second, I want you to notice what your body says yes to and what it resists. Just really notice, what is my body saying yes to, and what is my body resisting. And then third, For those of you who had the Aura Atlas blueprints, I want you to revisit your Aura Atlas blueprint if you receive one. And I want you to sit with it. I want you to breathe with it. And I want you to listen to what part of it catches your eye first. All right? And you'll know what to do when that happens. You'll know what to do. And then fourth, I want you to ask yourself this question. What truth in me is waking up right now? What truth in me is waking up right now, baby? What is waking up right now? And then the fifth question. What part of my life can no longer survive my awareness? What part of my life can no longer survive my awareness? Because awareness is expensive to illusion. And you better know it. You better know it. You better know it. Do you mean the question form? It's not a form. It's actually where you click the button and you get to voice leave me a message. You get to talk to me. And what I'm going to do is I will play the recording and I'm going to answer the recording live on air. Okay? So this show tonight, or this morning, or afternoon, depending on what part of the world you're in. And by the way, let me know what part of the world you're in. What continent are you currently on right now? Was not about being loud here, but it was about being clear, and that was my intention. The spell is breaking. Jupiter is moving. Memories. Oh my goodness, memories are stirring. And not just memories of yesterday, but memories of past lives, and ancestral memories are coming up, and ancestors are coming through dreams, and loved ones are showing up in supermarkets and walking down the streets and delivering messages. Memory is stirring right now. And so there's all kinds of messages stirring on the planet at this time. The body is speaking. Listen to your body. Used to be that song, Body Talks, Talk, Body. Yeah. The body is speaking. The aura is speaking. Earth is speaking. And the real question now, is not whether truth is arriving. That's not the real question. The real question is whether we are willing to live in a way that honors what we already know. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And most importantly, thank you for evolving with me. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Remember this, and I know you know this. We are not separate. We're not separate from the cosmos. We are a living expression of it. I want you to trust your blueprint, and I want you to trust yourself. Yeah. I love you all so much. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. I want you to leave in the comments if you're new here. Tell me about what continent you're on. Thank you, Thailand in the building, Chicago in the building, Las Vegas in the building, California in the building, Belize is in the building. Why am I not doing this? California in the building, Las Vegas, Nevada in the building, South Florida in the building, and Chicago is in the building. Thailand in the building. I'm going back through it, you guys. I just want to make sure I get everybody that's in the building. San Francisco in the building. Atlanta, Georgia in the building. Hey, Austin, Texas in the building. My city, Philly in the building. Welcome to everyone who is in the building. If you feel called to do so as well, I want you all to make sure you're subscribed. And if you know somebody that can receive, something here that sort of you felt like you can pass on to a family, a friend, a loved one, a soul family member, definitely make sure that you do that as well, to pass that message on to them as well too, and share that as well. Share that. I want to give a big shout out because I think this happened and I didn't really get a chance to acknowledge it. Hey, Sunny, Sammy, I don't know why I call you Sunny, but you look sunny. Sammy in the building. Flatbush, my city, my place in the building. Welcome on in. And Trinidad in the building. And Bethlehem in the building. I want to say this. Pass the video on. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, let me know if you guys what goddess you would like. I heard something to talk about. Somebody said to talk about Sophia, to talk about Sekhmet, to talk about who else did I hear? To talk about Yeminya, to talk about the Sibyls. Whatever that is of the goddess, of honoring that and doing some story time this month. Maybe we can get some of that in. Let's put it in the comment section. Don't forget to hype this video up. After you like this video, I would love that. And I'm going to let you guys know when we're going to be doing the second round of the Aura Atlas blueprints. We just completed the first round. I sent all of everyone who requested to have a digital copy have that. But even if you didn't request a digital copy, I did my best to hold it up so that I can make sure that you can screenshot it on your phone to get it. I know some of you are saying Sekhmet, and I love the names that y'all are saying. Please make sure you come back and you come back and leave it in the comment section, so I can find it there, so I don't have to come through. You're talk about Tarawet. No, not Tarawet. You're talking about the white Tara, the green Tara, the female Buddhas. Yeah. So I want you all to definitely do that. Yeah, I want you all to definitely do that. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get ready to get out of here. I love you all so much, and thank you all so much. This has been a good live. I'm glad that we're back and we're live. Let's have a good weekend. Let's be good to ourselves, good to each other. I love you all so much. We're going to hear some music as we get out of here. What y'all want to hear when we get out of here? Y'all want to hear Dream Makers? I don't know. You got to ask the Dream Makers. I hear you guys, talk about Athena, talk about Oshun. Yeah, it's a lot of the goddesses. Shizet. We can talk about Shizet. Most of these goddesses I have done stories on in the past. So it'll be great to dive back in and just kind of do a more elevated version of it. Thank you so much, Kepra. Uh, do an elevated version of tapping into these goddess deities and archetypes, and to see. I want to say thank you, Jennifer Bliss, for the super chat donation. Thank you so much. And yeah, y'all say let's do it all, but I want to know, because it may be some that is coming through the collective consciousness at this time. And we're not also going to forget about our ancestor goddesses as well, too, coming through, especially in this honor of this. Yeah. You've been drawn to the Orishas lately. They always coming through. Dream makers. Can we hear that wonderful song? Yeah, we need to ask the dream makers. Dream makers is for the dreamers. Sorry, you guys. The dream makers say no, don't play that, Ms. Blue. Okay, let's find something else. We're gonna find something else to play. I guess we're gonna play something else. They love their theme song. You guys. It's we get in class and we just get into it. We have another. There's another version of there is another version of Oshun and Isis or Aset. That is really good. Yes, love talking about them. Yeah, you keep seeing the goddesses come through, the golden headdress, but you didn't know her name. I love that. Yes, love that. Love that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to find us an outro song. You got the dream makers said, yeah, they said we saving that for class, you guys. Not the midday frequency report. I know. I thought I had the other Dream Maker song up here. Let me see if I can find it. Real quick. And then when we're going to get out of here. We're definitely going to get out of here. We are definitely going to get out of here. Ooh. Oh, really? Okay. Let's see if it's in here. Nope. Not in here. I'm going to see if I can find it, you guys. If I don't find it really soon, then we're going to have to listen. We're going to have to get something else. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it for us. What is fire? Oh, that's air alchemy, fire alchemy. Yeah, y'all, don't forget to back your stuff up. I'm over here talking that mess, but I still got so many things that I need to back up. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait. Oh, could I play that? I don't think I can play that. I'm trying to see what I can play, you guys. If I don't find nothing in a minute, we gonna bounce. We gonna bounce if I don't find nothing in a minute. Let me see if I can play this. No, that's not what I thought it was. All right. Well, we gonna get out. We gonna get out of here with something really good. Here we go. We gonna play this. No, I don't know if we want to hear that version. Y'all want to hear the other version of All About Frequency? Yeah. Play something with the prosperity frequency. Yeah, kind of everything is prosperity frequency. You trust DJ Blue Raspberry Wind? Yeah, I wanted to play Dream Makers, but them Dream Makers is like, I know a place. See, here's the thing. One of the reasons why without going into the long backstory, I don't have my white sheet, so I can't play songs that infringe on another person's Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. Thank y'all for that. I can't play songs that infringe on other people's copyrights, even if I say that they can have all of the royalties from the share, because it doesn't work that way when they're a part of different groups. And so I don't want to do that. Yeah, I think we're going to play the song that we came into. I think this is perfect. It honors the feminine, and it honors yeah, you can't play that either. That's got copyright. China Styles, yeah, that's got copyright. But yeah, I got a song. Well, listen, if you guys have songs and they fit the bill, send them to me. I'll play them. I will. People send me songs all the time, but here's the thing. You have to give me the clearance to play them. Because what I don't want to happen is a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 weeks from now, you in a different space, I'm in a different space, and you tell YouTube, take down that show because I don't want to give her permission anymore to play my song. So that's why. You see? So unless I have a white sheet, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Yeah, we won't play with it. I need white sheets. And if I have the white sheet, then I can put that in there because people are allowed to change their mind, and it doesn't even have to be for for any kind of malice reason. Just because they change their mind, they're doing something different. And if you have that song in it, yes, people change their minds, and they're allowed to. No shade, no foul. But if you don't have things lined up properly, then it can impact you in a way you don't want to be impacted. Just like people, for years have taken clips from my show. They don't have a right to do that. I could simply say, I didn't give permission. You can't just take somebody's stuff and do what you want with it. You wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. So I'm a big respecter of that. And so everything that I play on my show, I have white sheets. When people email me, we go through legalities so that they can take my voice and put it in their project. Because it's mine. It's not theirs. It's not community property. Speaking of which, y'all let me know. We're going to get out of here, but y'all let me know. Y'all let me know who's watching Love is Blind, because I want somebody to kiki with on that a little bit, right? It's got some good lessons in it. Archangel said 3 hours later, but still on my time. Listen, we have Australia in the built-in Melanin Flow. Welcome on in. Good to see you here. So let's listen to this. But if you send me the white sheet, or we can get some kind of agreement, I would love to play your music, but not without it. Okay? We're going to do things right. We're in a different space now. Here we go.
Auntie Chloe B. I know my job is a blessing, but F you, take me. Rocks on my wrist, fur on my feet, setting the table in all the chic. Baby, come eat. I like luxury, I like fancy things. Shine on my body, live like royalty. Treat you like a king if I trust, but you must be worthy of the crown. I'm not just anybody, born to live in luxury. I work too hard, oh my. Luxury. We come so far, oh I. Luxury. Cover these scars and diamonds. Luxury. Every day I'm alive, it's giving lux, yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. Lux. La 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 la. I work too hard, oh my. We come so far, oh I. Covered these scars and diamonds. Every day I'm alive, it's giving lux, yeah. La 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 la. Lux, la 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 la. Lux.
All right, we're going to get out of here. That was King Sis, and it's called Lux, as in luxury. All right, let me do a thumbnail. That has got to be the most cringe and corny, silly thing that I do is the thumbnail. But I love you all so much. Let's have a beautiful weekend. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. And what's the name I told you guys that the only one I didn't have a reading for? What's his name? Rob, ROBB. And that's the only one I haven't been able to send the Aura Atlas to. And that's the only one. So, Rob, if you're out there and you want your Aura Atlas, you have to send me an email so I can send it to you. And I will let you guys know when the new one comes. And you be doing thumbnails all the time. Well, good for you. I don't. And curious. Y'all see the pin? Can y'all see that? I wonder if somebody can tell. I want you, this will be a question, and maybe I'll do a giveaway. I want you to take a good look at that. And I want someone to tell me, and you can get a prize if you tell me, what does this mean? What does it stand for? Watch YouTube pick this as the thumbnail. Watch him. So let me flip my hair back. Let me flip my hair back. Because YouTube's going to use this as the thumbnail. Watch. Many of you have this. Yeah, it's a sigil, but I want y'all to tell me what it means. And I will see you all next time. Peace and love. Oracle kisses. Ciao.